Hey, Slater Crusaders. So, the most ridiculous thing has been talked about the last few days. I just want to take a minute to discuss it, and that is abolishing the police, right? Or even defund. Laughable concept, but I'll bite, right? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. The people who are saying this stuff, they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt with this, but we'll give it a serious discussion. And here's why, really, to be fair. So Trump, and during the campaign especially, we talked a lot about Trump and how he sets the anchor. So Trump will say something seemingly outrageous, he sets the anchor way over here, and then walks it back and still gets what he wants, right? It's like an old business technique, and we would always hold that up as a virtue of Trump, right? So he says something like, build the wall and have Mexico pay for it, right? And then it's like, oh, okay, we want to Mexico pay for it, but we're still going to build the wall, right? So example. So if we praise Trump for doing that, maybe that's what these abolish the police people are saying. Now, some of them genuinely want to abolish the police. So that's why I said I'm giving them credit that they don't necessarily deserve, but I think a lot of people are like, well, hey, maybe we can actually do some genuine rethinking of the police departments, and that's fine. So those are the people and concerns that I'm going to address right now. First thing to know here, it is really hard to pin down the numbers. Just like it was with COVID, like that's one of my big lessons from whole COVID stuff, is it's so hard to know anything. It really is. It's hard to pin down numbers. We can't even get a number, pin down the number of deaths from COVID, let alone number of cases, right? It's like, geez, guys, why is that difficult? Was it the other day, did we show the chart? I think we did, of number of homicides. And we couldn't even pin that down. There's like wildly different numbers. The FBI has numbers, the Washington Post has numbers, there's two other organizations, and they all have different numbers of the number of homicides. It's like, oh, can't you can't we know that? Like, to a pretty, small number, right? No, we can't. We can't even know that. So it's really hard to get numbers for anything. And I read the other day, someone said, oh, the police budget we got to defund it because the police budget in most cities is more than half the total budget. And I saw that and I was like, oh, well, that can't be right. And it turns out it's not. So in San Diego, where I live, it's about a third of the budget. And that's about average. Do we have this chart here? So this is from if you look on the way bottom left there, let me pull it up here actually, sorry. It's, I think this is from like some lefty group. The Center for Popular Democracy, that sounds lefty. Law for Black Lives and Black Youth Project 100. So the numbers on the right, like that's percentage of general fund expenditure. So, it's like 30% or something like that. New York City's pretty crazy. Even though it's $4 billion budget, it's only 8% of the entire general fund budget. But most cities are about 20, 30, maybe you get into the 40%. So it's not most cities over half, right? That's not true. But even this number, like how true is this? I don't even know, because does this total police spending, does that include pensions? Does that include unfunded pension liabilities? Does general fund expenditures, does that include pensions and debt expenditures? So it depends how you even categorize any of these things. So it's very tricky to pin down the numbers. But anyway, I can tell you in San Diego, they actually yesterday voted to increase the budget of the police department by $27 million. There's been about $500 million right now, and they increased it by $27 million in spite of all the pressure, which is pretty amazing that they did that. But I read some quote from she was the head of the local climate change action group or something. It's like, why are you commenting on this? But the local paper quoted her, and she said, this budget does not reflect the values of San Diegans, and its enactment would have racist outcomes. Funding the police department, racist outcomes. Okay. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So there's a big point. It's hard to even pin down these numbers at all, but alas, we'll proceed. So a lot of these groups, they say they want the money diverted. They say they want it reinvested in the community. Give me a break, guys. $22 trillion over the last 50 years of poverty programs, and it's only made things worse. And most of this money doesn't ever go to poor people. Right? It goes to the people who serve poor people. So it's really used just to create a whole new class of bureaucrats. One of our local city council members, I'm just using San Diego as an example, but it's everywhere across the entire country. But one of our local city council members said that she's proposing an office on race and equity. Okay? So there's this movement to take the $27 million increase in San Diego that we were going to spend, and we did end up spending on the police. And instead of spending on the police, we put it and create an office on race and equity. So what have you done? You just created a whole new bureaucracy. Good for you. So now you got 100 new city employees. You have their pensions that you're going to pay out for the rest of their lives. And very little of that money, if any, is going to be spent on anything that's going to make any difference whatsoever to actual people. Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.